You were basically running around on your first wife and divorced her while you were banging this other chick, and you thought that she wasn't going to get pissed off about that. Are you out of your fucking mind? What did we learn here? Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here with another episode of Live from the Lair. Alright, so these stories are between 2013 and 2018, and looking back on it, it went quick, but when I was living it, it went fucking painfully goddamn slow. You know, I mean, you get uprooted, fucking moved 600 miles away from your family, your kids and shit. You really don't know anybody out there, and you gotta hit the ground running. It's time to grow the fuck up and adult up, man. It's just the way it is. Now, I remember when I first got there, the new AGR sergeant shows up, and everyone has to come by and walk in the office and look you up and down and shit like that. And everyone's got to fucking, they got to test you. They ask you a bunch of fucking questions. I mean, it was crazy. And I had published my book in 2012, which is basically a little over a year before, I went to Utica. And I'm only one Google search away, and somebody fucking typed in my name, and my videos came up, and my book came up, and I had like 5 or 6 soldiers actually buy the book, print it up, bring it in, have me fucking sign it for them because they liked it. Even though there's editing issues, I got it. I really don't care. I mean, that book needed to be written. It's like the universe requested it, and I fucking had to knock it out. I'm probably gonna update it, add a few more things to it, and then maybe fix all of the editing. Make sure it's at least 98% good and not 83% good. But it was weird. I had a couple of soldiers that had severe past medical issues. One of them was getting over cancer. It was fucked up. He basically got testicular cancer, and they had to hack off one of his balls, and they had to go on chemo, and he was all fucked up. And apparently this particular soldier had a weight issue, because of this, or or maybe because he had Tourette's of the elbow, and he liked himself too many fatty cakes, as he called them. He got his stomach stapled, and apparently he just dumped it, just a shitload of weight, which is pretty cool. Good guy, He worked on the civilian side. He worked as an armorer, would come and inspect the weapons and repair them and order parts and shit. I heard he got another AGR gig, and he's like in another state, like in Texas or Oklahoma or something. I hope it's working out for him. I really do. And he was another one of those basically many soldiers I've had throughout my career who were PT rehabilitation problems. So, I remember I gave him a PT test like every 3rd or 4th day for like a fucking month before he passed it. But he did. He got himself out of the fucking balloon knot fucked up mess he was in, and saved his career and pulled out of it. And I remember, he and I even talked about some of the crazy shit his ex fucking wife was pulling with his fucking kids. And she was fucking him hard. I mean, literally, she was squeezing him for child support. In New York State, they don't fucking care. They'll put a dude in the street. They'll ruin your career. They'll fuck your life up. And she would not allow him to see his kids. And that went on, it had been going on for like 5 or 6 fucking years. So he was another one that I schooled in administrative violence and the full Monty, and he fucked her shit up really bad. So, you want to play fucking games, that's fine. People can play games back and turn your life into a redneck fucking nightmare. Alright, gentlemen, you gotta bear with me. I got a thunderstorm coming in, and this is a leather chair, so it kind of makes noises and stuff. Some people, made some comments at the last one. That's just the way it is. Alright. Oh, this is a great one. Alright, one of the other soldiers, I think I talked about him last time, but I don't know what his problem was. I guess he just liked pussy. He's still dick thinking. It happens. But apparently, I think this was his first wife. He had divorced her, and she had the nerve to come into the unit, right, and basically drop a dime on her now ex-husband, that technically he was still married to her when he married his next fucking mistake. Well, I looked at the paperwork, and you can see that she fought. The divorce was granted, and then she fought for a continuance, and it went on for like another 4 months before it was ultimately put the kibosh on. So the soldier got married, thinking he was legally divorced because the paper said, the original date said he was divorced. But yet she comes into the unit and wants me to fuck this guy up because he's a bigamist. Okay, well, first of all, that soldier's a good motherfucker. Okay, he showed up, he did what he was told, maximum effort, minimum bitching, liked to drink, who didn't, not gonna hold it against him. But I'm not gonna fuck a dude's life up over some shit like that. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll see what the commander has to say. And I didn't even talk to the commander because this was a bunch of bullshit. When you get up there, in the enlisted ranks, you basically know what you need to take to the commander and what you can handle yourself, because that's what they pay senior NCOs for. Okay, is to handle stuff at the lowest level without having to gum up the works up there, because they got a lot of shit going up there anyway. They got to exercise their 30-pound brain and do whatever they do up in their fucking weird wizard world when they're cooking up their crazy fucking plans and operations and shit. So I go into my office, pull up the memorandum for record, letterhead, and I wrote her a formal letter stating that she is never to come onto the property of the armory or interfere with any soldier business in regards to this situation. And, basically, you're not welcome here. Don't fucking come back. I fucking type my name, fucking sign it, put in an envelope. First I made a copy of it. I mailed it to her address. And then I kept a copy on my desk. So when the soldier came in for the next drill, I said, hey, here's the letter I sent your ex-wife, and I also got to say, what the fuck are you thinking? All right, so you were basically running around on your first wife and divorced her while you were banging this other chick, and you thought that she wasn't going to get pissed off about that. Are you out of your fucking mind? What did we learn here? And he basically like, I gotta drop one piece of pussy before I pick up the next one. I'm like, there you go. Just a little respect goes a long way, just saying. And I think he got rid of the second one, and he got a third one, and he's got like 4 kids from 3 chicks, and then he has 2 suspected kids that may or may not be his from 2 prior chicks. It's fucking I don't know what the fuck they're doing up there in upstate New York, but all I can say is keep your pecker in your pants. You might want to get snipped. and handle your business a little bit more responsibly.
Hello there, Brotherhood of the Traveling Teabag. Because YouTube won't let us monetize any videos with Shotgun Rebellion's music, I'm going to show you Jesse Jane's tits while I tell you that you can support these pop-loving patriots by clicking the links in the description below. Subscribe to their channel, watch their music videos, and show these bearded badasses some love.
As the ops, team sergeant, basically that's what you do is the AGR team sergeant. You basically run operations. And what that job entails is you got to get people in school, you got to make sure they take their PT tests, you got to do the training schedules, cut orders, fill out the training schedules for pay inside ITARs and RLAS. Those are acronyms for Army Reserve systems that manage soldiers. Okay, and not only that, okay, you have a commander and you have a first sergeant, but they're only there on basically drill weekends. The commander you'll see maybe 3 or 4 other times a year when he comes in to handle business. So in reality, all of the commanders I had basically said, Sergeant Popp, just handle your business. You've been doing this for a long fucking time. You're a fucking Green Beret. We trust you. And I took that seriously. I did not violate that at all. I made sure that all my decisions I made in regards to the soldiers were the best possible decision for the soldiers at that particular time. And I remember doing the training schedules and sitting down right before October when the fiscal year ends and talking to the commander and they would go on their tirade of all the cool shit they want to do. I'd pull out my pen and I'd write down the tasks, and then I'd look up the task numbers and have to plug them into the fucking training schedule and write all the justifications, then hand that off to supply sergeant, who would then coordinate meals and ranges, not the ranges, but meals, ammo, and vehicles. And then he would give it back to me, and then it was approved. I would go in there and I'd request all the fucking ranges and training areas for the fucking year. Sometimes it was a pain in the fucking ass. One of the big problems we had was Fort Drum. It happened probably twice a year like clockwork when I was there. I would make plans. I would coordinate with Fort Drum. I would have ranges laid on. I would have barracks laid on. I would have everything good to go. And about 90 days out, Fort Drum just says, "Oh, sorry, can't do it. We got a deploying unit using all that fucking shit." Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the active duty units or posts do receive money from the Army Reserves to use their fucking ranges and complexes and stuff. So if they're not going to honor that shit, why the fuck that? Take our money out of there. And Fort Drum, I'm going to be honest with you. My heart goes out to any soldier that was ever stationed at Fort Drum, because that place sucked. All right, we went up there a couple times in the winter, and you can't even get back to where the ranges are because they have like 3 or 4 feet of fucking snow on them. And that snow will stay out there until about June, when it finally fucking melts. Wow, that place. And then there's this place called Tug Hill or something that like one of the years I was there, they got like 96 inches of snow in like a 6 or 7 day period. That's like halfway up your house. That's insane. That's just so much fucking snow. Oh man. And then I used to play this game, and I started doing it when I started in Southfield's AGR. Now, when you run ranges, it's pretty tedious, you know. You gotta, like, are you ready on the right, ready on the left? Is the center ready? Everybody, put your, get in the prone supported, put your weapon on semi, and watch your lane. Then you flip the switches, and the shit pops up, and people start shooting. Or they're doing the zero thing. And some people, they'll fire 3 bullets. All you really gotta do is walk 25 goddamn meters, look at where the bullets are, circle them or put stickers on them, and come back and adjust your sights. It's not rocket science. But I have guys out there taking 10 minutes to figure out where their shot group is and where they need to. So I would get I would get the megaphone out and I'd be like, it's not rocket science. Lane 11, about face, walk back to the firing line, figure it out, and fire by braille. And everyone would laugh, because you're breaking up the monotony. The soldiers loved it. They loved it in Southfield. They loved it when I was in Utica and I did that shit. And, and I would have, smart remarks. Like, for instance, one of the battalion commanders we had, was a female. She shows up. She immediately deploys with one of our companies moving forward. And I think it was Afghanistan or I don't remember. But she was gone for a year. So there was another lieutenant colonel, female, who was a nurse who was basically filling it for her. She did a great job. I can't complain. She, checked all the blocks, made sure everything worked out, handled any fucking crazy business. But the bad thing with her is she couldn't fucking shoot. You got to get your officers fucking qualified. If they don't qualify with their weapons, bad shit happens. And if you got a fairly decent officer, you want to keep them around because there's way more assholes than competent officers out there. So I remember, I think she went up, she already gone up 3 times, boloed 3 times with a 9mm pistol. So I'm like, okay, I'll go out there. And I remember, I look at her weapon and I'm like, okay, this is a little fucked up. It's a, Beretta 9mm 92F. The top slide was a little wobbly, so you could hear it shaking. So, if you're an iffy shooter as it is, and you have, parts moving around on a weapon, not the weapon for you. So I went and I looked at a couple other ones, and I got one from another soldier, brought it over, and that one was fairly decent. Then I checked the magazines, make sure they were fairly new and everything was squared away. Now, when you fire the tables for the pistol, there is a lot of slack involved in there. So if you can't hit anything or qualify with the pistol, you're fucked up, sorry. So, she goes out there, she fires, the first magazine, and I see where she's fucking firing. And she's actually firing like high and over the left shoulder of the silhouette. So every time she'd fire after that, I'd look at her like, all right, man, shoot him in the dick. And she would laugh, and she would aim for his fucking nutsack, and then, before you know it, she qualified. Winning. I did that for a lot of guys. I can't tell you how many times I laid in the mud in the rain next to guys who couldn't zero or qualify with their weapon and run interference and figure out what the fuck was going on. And sometimes they would just be so fucking nervous that, I would take them behind the firing line and make them do 100 fucking jumping jacks and then get behind the weapon, and they were just fine. They had to run off all that or work off all that nervous energy or whatever the fuck it was. But yeah, and there's a big difference too. Like from how I was at the end of my career to when I was at the beginning. And when I first came in, I had some NCOs that basically operated just as I did. They were the example that I followed 30 years later. You're young, you're stupid, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you make stupid decisions, and you're irresponsible. Got it. we're going to help you. And they kind of like walk you through the early stages, and then you unfuck yourself, and then you take off like a bat out of hell, and everything's great. So I tried to do that for all the soldiers that I had with me. You know, it was good times. All right, take it easy.